Hmm. 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 Oh, hi, Bobby. Didn't see you there. I'm just practicing my saxophone and reading a book. You know, that's that's how I do things. I due to popular demand, this 2:15. I'm gonna give my Barbie review. I didn't book the I didn't book the film out of any particular reason, but if there was a reason, it may have been. Oh, sorry, because I'm a very busy man. I I had an argument about a month ago, which basically ended with, "Look, Steve, I didn't spend fucking a year, 2 years, shielding my folks and surviving an apocalypse to spend the time afterwards sitting in the same pub we've been in for the last 15 years, pretending I give a shit about whether or not Indiana Jones has a girl in it." That situation kind of escalated, which is why I'm recording this film now. Thank you for the bits. What I would say is, for those of you who haven't seen a Barbie movie, is on a very frank level, it's really good. It's really good. It's done in one. I don't think there should be a franchise out of it. I think much like Free Guy, it's, if I was to give anything, it's a Free Guy for girls. And I said it in a loosest sense because it is so much about roles, identity, what people think you should be, rather than letting you be. It's a 2 hour film that has made the work of everything that is Barbie. Well, I didn't know any Barbies. I never had any Barbies. I have an older brother. Um, I was raised pretty much in a matriarchy in a sense, but ultimately everything there, it would be seen perfect, as opposed to Transformers making its own toys up. I The premise itself is Barbie has an identity crisis, has to find a way to the real world, and bring herself back with hilarious consequences. She took Ken with her. In terms of the Barbie story, it makes sense. It's totally about just growing up. There's elements of Toy Story in it. I'm trying to be spoiler free. Um, of someone who has always been an explorer, but now is finding the detriments of that, and the reality of what that would actually mean for someone else, and some sort of consequence of a blasé, rather privileged. They literally call her stereotypical Barbie throughout the film, and it's done with great set pieces. It's done almost. It made me think of the Monkeys film Head, and it has a decent payoff. If you're talking about a pure Barbie film in terms of Margot Robbie being Barbie, assuming that everything is awesome, but realizing change and the inevitable growth that comes from change, even though hardship will be part of that. Will Ferrell, very minor role actually, is able to bring across the head of Mattel. There's a certain meta element. What I really liked about that is that they didn't bother with the logistics of Barbie Land and the real world. They just got on with it. Everything is done incidentally. It's not so much that you're in on the joke, but you know that the world that we live in. There are some great jokes from Will, and from the whole image of the corp. Mattel has basically signed off to allow itself to be the evil corp. Some elements there into Ruth, the inventor of Barbie, work really well. But before I finish, what I will say is that for me, it's the story of Ken. I definitely felt the Kenergy. There is an element there where there has been an inversion and that the men are subservient to the women, and that when Ken exists in the real world, he's first exposed to patriarchy. I will have a slight affidavit there, is that he's exposed to patriarchy in a school, a high school, that literally stocks books that say why men rule. That worries me in terms of the fucking school. But as someone who... None of us had fun. None of us had fun over the last couple of years. For me, it was about shielding. It was about looking after someone. And you know, she passed. My mum passed. But I had a period of time in my life where absolutely everything was about her. It was 24/7, and I had the privilege, and I still look back on that time as a privilege, is that I got to, albeit working from home, all I had to do, all I felt to do, was give her the best quality of life I possibly could. And then when that changed, the scary moments, and this is what you see again, is to actually be yourself, to actually go, right, what do you want? Really came through in the film. He wanted to be in charge. I mean, for me, it was about art galleries, it was about museums, it was about those things. For Ken, it's about horses and patriarchy. And the faults of that, once you just exist for yourself, it's hilarious. It's on point. It never denigrates that aspect. And even though Alan is there, Alan gets a voice. Alan kicks ass. Alan has some agency. But yeah, to get back to what I was saying at the beginning of this recording, I do feel that this really is a film about identity and about agency and about where do you want to be, not what people have told you should be, not what people want you to be, not about any other expectation but your own. And I'm totally done with that. I think it was brilliantly done, wonderfully executed. I really hope that there isn't a Barbie 2. I think everything that needs to be said on that at this point in 2023 has been said. And I would say that, Steve, if you're watching this and you're still annoyed, I don't care. I don't care anymore. You've made your opinion very clear about me, about what I did, about what I've done. And I know that 5, 10, 15 years from now, I don't know where I'll be. And I know you'll still be in that pub complaining about Indiana Jones. So, screw you, Steve. I don't care for your issues. So yeah, see the Barbie movie. I totally recommend it. It's just so funny. Not one for the kids, really. I think there's a level there where there's not enough playing. I saw a lot of younger kids being taken out by the parents at the screening I was at. Also saw a lot of people pinking out. such as I did. Oh, right. So enjoy the Barbie movie. See the Barbie movie. And I'll see you on the big screen soon.